Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you all for being with us here this morning. This is a big day for WSU and for the College of Business, and I'm so pleased to welcome you here as we celebrate our new name as the Carson College of Business. The two people who have made this possible are Scott and Linda Carson. You know, their vision, their generosity has allowed us to chart our future course and to serve students at a level of excellence that's unparalleled. And you know, there are many students here today, and you may not know what it means to be a part of the Carson College. So let me tell you, when you graduate, your degree is going to be associated with a family name that truly embodies everything that's great about WSU and the College of Business, the Carson College of Business, that is, right? So Scott and Linda, their commitment to your success is beyond what you might imagine. Their dedication and loyalty to the WSU community is second to none. Their global perspective and the level of excellence and accomplishment that they represent is rarely found. And so we're very fortunate to have our college named after two such wonderful people. So in the Carson College, we try to advance and positively impact the academic and economic communities of Washington State, the region, and the world by developing global business leaders and by advancing knowledge through our research and scholarship. And the Carsons have had a tremendously positive impact on all areas of those things that we do. Some of the examples of the investments that they've made, the most visible is going to be the Carson Center for Student Success, which is just down this hallway. It's an all-inclusive student services center that is an example for any College of Business out there. They've endowed a research chair to facilitate instruction and research that has a positive impact on the global economy. And they've endowed a scholarship fund to encourage students to study abroad so that they're better prepared to be a future business leader in a global economy. And so today we're very fortunate and pleased to be able to call ourselves the Carson College of Business. You know, we're on an incredibly positive trajectory, and it wouldn't be possible without the investments made by Scott and Linda Carson. And so please join me in thanking them for everything they've done for us. So to continue our program, it's my pleasure to introduce President Elson S. Floyd. President Floyd is a dynamic and visionary leader who has high aspirations for WSU's future. Since taking over as president in May 2007, President Floyd has strengthened our research and economic impact. He's enhanced the educational experience for WSU students at all locations. And he's made significant investments in our infrastructure and technology to support our mission. President Floyd is truly taking WSU to the next level of excellence and service. Please join me in welcoming President Floyd to the podium.
Thank you. Well, David, thank you very much for the introduction, and thank each and every one of you for being a part of this celebration. And it is indeed a celebration. It is a time of reflection for our institution and to recognize two individuals for the incredible contributions that they have made to this college and also the contributions that they've made to Washington State University in general. Seldom in our lifetime will individuals impact not only this generation of students, but generations of students to come. And their philanthropy and generosity, and as Scott is fond of saying, his investment in Washington State University will clearly redound to our students in ways that will always be both influential and impactful. We have but to think about the Carson Center or reflect on the professional development program or the endowed professorships in which they finance to say that there is one common thread associated with all of those, and that's uncompromised excellence in everything that we do. Over the last 7 years, it has been my great pleasure to have come to know Scott and Linda. And when I find myself in a ditch, and I do quite often, I will go to Scott and he'll pull me out and he'll say, "Elson, this is the last time." And then the next time I go to him, he said, "This is really the last time." But he's always there. And he's always there to lend a helping hand to me. But there's no doubt that he's continued to do the same thing in every endeavor upon which he has been a part. We have but to think about the incredible success of the Boeing Company under his leadership. Or we think about the success of the fundraising campaign, our capital campaign, because of his leadership. You see, we had this vision of having a $1 billion campaign. And right now, we are $944 million towards our $1 billion march. And that is in large measure due to his generosity. But Linda thinks that they financed the whole campaign. And in some ways, I've looked at them in a whole lot of ways to help finance the campaign in meaningful ways. And we still have some other opportunities because I think while we're talking about the Carson College, I think we just need to just get the whole thing done and just change Washington State University into Carson University and just cut to the chase. Well, I want to just relay two stories to you just to give you some sense of their character and who and what they are and how they represent our university. The first is, this naming seems to be a relatively simple thing, and it was far from simple. It has taken me 2.5 years to be able to have this moment in time in which we've recognizing the two of them for their contributions to the College of Business. Every time I approached Scott about this issue, he said to me, "No, I don't think so." And he would be very clear in naming other individuals whom, in his judgment, would be much more appropriate. And then the next year he said, "Well, let me just think about it a little bit." And when he said that, I knew that I had at least an entryway. And then finally, he said, "Well, I need to talk with Linda. And if she agrees, then okay, Elson, because I'm tired of you pestering me about this issue." And then he got back with me very quickly and said it was fine from Linda's perspective, and we've moved ahead. The second story I want to relay to you is when we were trying to identify the leadership of our $1 billion campaign. Scott was at the Boeing Company at the time, and I went to his office, and I shared with him our vision associated with the campaign and what a difference it would make in not only the quality of life for our students, but the influence that would have on our faculty and the physical plant within our institution. And then I concluded by asking him to serve as chair. But I said to him, "Scott, we'll get some help. And so what I'm really wanting you to do is to serve as co-chair of the campaign." And he said, "Co-chair?" I said, "Yes, we'll get someone else." He says, "Great, because I have a whole lot of things on my plate." Well, somehow I forgot that I had committed to having a co-chair. And so he assumed the complete responsibility for serving as chair of our campaign. And so, Scott, thank you very much for that. And this is to our students. This moment in time is very special, and it's something that you will always recall in terms of your journey here at Washington State University. That is the naming of a college. And you may say, "Well, President Floyd, why is that important?" You see, there are some individuals who will impact our lives who will have an indelible imprint. They epitomize all of the core values and principles of our university. And you also reflect on their philanthropy, but that's also part of the character. And it's recognizing the very solid tradition that's underneath that and continuing to build on that foundation going forward and serving as a signature, if you will, of our institution and where we are. And there is no more appropriate recognition to have than to think of this college in very fond and appropriate ways as the Carson College of Business. There is no one, Scott, in my judgment, who better epitomize that than you and Linda. Thank you so much for your willingness to allow us to name this college in your honor. So with that, I say please enjoy this celebration and reflect on who and what we are, and go around this building and you will see their names recognized in so many different fashions. And just ask someone in the office one simple question: what has been the impact? And if you do that, you're going to be in for about a 2-hour conversation because their impact has been longstanding and will be that for generations of students to come. And it's wonderful having his family here. And that is an important signature, if you will, about who they are as a couple, but also who they are as a family. And it's been a great, great joy to have come to know you even better. So thank you all very much for being a part of this celebration. Scott, Linda, thank you yet again.
Thank you, President Floyd. Next, I would like to introduce Catherine Hagan. Catherine is a student in the college. She's a double major in accounting and economic policy and analysis. And Catherine is a recipient of the Carson Family Endowed Scholarship. She's here to tell the story of how a scholarship can impact a student. So, Catherine?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you all for having me here. So my name is Catherine, Kate to some. I am a senior according to the credits I have. I expect to graduate in May 2016. I was born in the city on the west side of the state, but I grew up in a really small town in Okanogan County, which is in north central Washington. When I was a kid, I used to have all of those big, when I grow up, I'm going to do this, when I grow up. Unfortunately, when I did start to grow up, I kind of thought that wasn't going to happen for me, that my dreams were a little too big, they weren't for real life, or at least not for my life as a poor kid in a small town. I kind of gave up on effort. I was an extremely lousy high school student, which I have more than made up for in my time in college. And after a few years out of high school, thanks to my partner who had his head on straight, he convinced me to go back to school. So we started attending a community college in my town. I left there with 3 associate's degrees, a certificate, and a passion for accounting and economics that I was even surprised of. So I came to WSU with the simple goal of having 3 majors, 3 minors, which I have since whittled down to 2 majors and 1 minor. Aside from just coming to school here and the opportunities that education affords, I have also found that this place offers opportunities that I would never have even considered for myself or anybody. I have taken care of a bighorn sheep lamb this past summer. I am a yoga instructor. I have met more people interesting and difficult and amazing. It's been a great process for me personally to grow with the diversity that we have here and being able to work with other people within the school and in student organizations. It's just been fantastic. Sorry. I also have a great job on campus that I probably wouldn't have if not for a resume seminar put on by the Carson Center. It's a great job, and I'm in accounts receivable, so I'm practicing what I'm learning here. And in addition to all the things I'm doing outside of my education, I have rekindled a passion for both of my majors. In economics, we're doing interesting research. I'm in my second summer TAing, which has been wonderful. And in accounting, I have done giant comprehensive projects, taking a business from one cycle to another. I have done practical tax returns, which really gets me back to the nitty-gritty number crunching that I fell in love with in the first place. For my future, I want to be a forensic accountant. I want to go on to get my master's in accounting. If I'm really diligent, maybe a PhD in economics. We'll see how it works out. I want to be a teacher, but most of all, I want to be in the position where I can give back to students who are like me, much as the Carsons have for me. I know that there are a lot of kids out there who can't put college on their When I Grow Up list, and for those who can, they might not have the resources that they need to actively and effectively pursue their goals and their dreams and their future careers, whatever they want to do. And so I'm so thankful for the Carsons for giving us that opportunity. I'm thankful not only for their financial support, but also for the belief that they must have in students to put forth such an investment. It takes more than money and a class to get students to be passionate about what they're doing and to encourage them to do what it is that they want to do and to do it well and put effort into it. So, thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Carson, for everything that you've done. Thank you, President Floyd and WSU, for honoring such wonderful people in this way. I can't imagine a better set of people who deserve this. So,
Thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. So Catherine is just one of many students who have been affected by the Carsons. And so if you'll turn your attention to the monitors, you'll have an opportunity to learn a little bit more about some of the great things going on in the Carson College.
The Wall Street Journal a few years ago did a survey, and they had the top 25 universities for job-ready programs and the best places to recruit candidates in the United States. And WSU was listed in that top 25. And a lot of it had to do with the quality of the business college.
They've done a good job of preparation. They come in ready, and they come in with enthusiasm. They come in with a strong commitment to do, really the tough things. And as I said, I think they're well-rounded in how they approach things.
When you graduate from the Carson College of Business, you are prepared to enter the workforce and to be immediately successful.
The Carson Business College really is in a position to help students jump into the workforce. And that really, after all, is why you go to college, is to get a great job.
The Carson Center definitely gave me an edge above, I think, other colleagues that graduated the same year as I did. Not only did they prepare me for the business setting, which I was entering, but also they gave me a global-minded perspective.
Until the Carson Center was built, there was no place for students to come, to meet, to study, and gather in groups. By combining all the services into one area, we now have a holistic opportunity for students to grow in their professional development.
What I love to see between classes is walking down the hallway there and seeing the Carson Center packed with students either checking email, or they're visiting with their classmates about a project they're working on, or just hanging out.
From the Carson College of Business, I have been opened up to so many opportunities.
It's unreal, honestly. There's so many resources, there's so much help. The opportunity is just amazing.
We have tutoring and all type of different one-on-one communications and connections that we have that really help students get through.
The mock interviews and resume critiques are something that is unique to our college.
The boardroom I've used on multiple occasions for my club.
Even as a sophomore, having all these internships available, knowing all these places where jobs will be for my major is even more exciting.
I feel far more prepared than I would have ever imagined. My resume is tweaked to almost perfection. I have an idea of what to say when I'm being interviewed. I've had the opportunity to network with tons of companies.
I feel like my entire experience has been fantastic, and it's because of people like Scott and Linda that really do care about the students.
Thanks to God for creating such a couple who are so generous but yet humble to care for our future and for our education experience that we get at the Carson College of Business.
I appreciate the gifts that they've provided to the Carson College of Business, both the financial gifts, but also the advice and support and encouragement that have led us to be better than we ever thought we could be.
Scott and Linda's chair has been a huge part of that activity. It's allowed me to travel, it has allowed me to do things that I couldn't have done otherwise, to do things such as our new program in Switzerland where we actually offer the WSU degree online with right now 177 students that never would have been able to get a WSU degree if it hadn't been for that.
I can't imagine my experience as a student without the Carson Center and everything else that they've done.
I benefited from the Carson College of Business, specifically from the real-life experiences I had within classes, and there was real-life business case studies and projects that we would do that were a lot more realistic and helpful than just tests and lectures.
It's going to embrace other recruiters, other companies to come in, find the top talent of WSU that we have a bunch of, and in the end, we can see Cougs all over the world.
So, Scott and Linda, if you wouldn't mind joining me at the podium, and President Floyd, if you would help with this. So we have a small token of our appreciation to share with you here. This is a representation of the banner you see hanging above the stage here, welcoming students, faculty, staff, alumni, and friends to the college. And we hope this serves as a reminder to you of how much we appreciate everything you've done for our college and our students.
Thank you very much, David.
Scott, would you like to say a few words?
Just a few. Wow. There are people way back there. How many of your students? You're the reason why. You're the reason why. I would like to take just a moment and introduce some of my family that's here, and this is really amazing for us. My father, who's 93, came over yesterday with my son, Stephen. He and his brother were truly a big part of the inspiration that caused me to go to school. You talked about being a non-traditional student. I was truly a non-traditional student. I was through the Vietnam era in the military. I'd worked for a while. I'd met my wife, who wasn't yet my wife, obviously when I met her. We got married and came here. And as I recall, we got the last apartment in Pullman that was available off campus. And you didn't want to live in on-campus married housing at the time. And that time here was truly amazing. But Dad's brother, Gordon, who has a long, long career in education as an instructor, as a dean, as president of a couple of universities, played an instrumental part in convincing me that if I didn't change my path, the opportunities would be limited. And so he is represented today by my cousin Alice, and my second cousin Julie, and her husband Brent, and Kyle, and Kelson, who are here today. I also have my daughter Kelly, who graduated from the hotel and restaurant program here. My daughter and her husband Michael, and their two munchkins, the Reds. Right? Okay. And my daughter Christina, our oldest daughter, who we brought here, and she's the only one of our children that didn't go to the College of Business here or at the university. She majored in early childhood development and is now a second-level manager in human resources at Boeing, so it was an absolutely perfect fit for her. She gets to work with juvenile adults now. My daughter Sandy, who we are most proud of. Here's a child that went to work in an accounting office when she was 16 or 17, I don't remember exactly, and a few years ago bought the company, and is to us just an amazing success story as an individual and a human being and a mother and all those things. My daughter Shelley has the baby strapped to her over here, and her husband Greg. The two of them are recently moved back to the Seattle area from a time in Florida and Italy. And it's really her experience and Kelly's that convinced us that this international experience was about more than sitting in Pullman and learning about companies that were abroad. You really had to immerse yourself and experience it. And our son Stephen, who is an accounting major from here in a year I don't recall any longer, but as we watched these young people experience the world and education, it really connected us back to our roots here in Pullman. And I don't know how long ago that started, 30 years or so, I suppose. But it's been an incredible journey to be part of, to serve on advisory boards with people like Ted Basler or Larry Culver or all these folks that are truly iconic in industry, and learn from them and be part of all that, to sit down in the College of Engineering on their advisory board and meet the young people and see the energy in their eyes, and have a son-in-law that graduated from there. So all of this came together as we shaped what we felt we should do with the good fortune that we had experienced in life. And you young people, you're who we do it for. You're going to do things that we can only dream of. You have tools at your availability that are very different than the tools we had when we were your age, and the tools of the next generation will be ever that much more different. So the investments that we made weren't about having names on anything at all. It was about you young people and making a difference in your life and creating an environment where you understand today the importance of giving back throughout your life, because it's that act of giving back, of investing in others, that creates the energy in your life. And so if you take one thing away from this today, it isn't about a ribbon cutting or a name on a building. It's about, remember, this is the beginning of your journey to give back throughout your life to make this state, this planet, a better place for the generations that'll follow. We're deeply honored and profoundly humbled to have our name on this college. But we're very proud of the young people that will make that name mean something into the future. So on behalf of Linda and myself and our entire family, and I forgot one, Linda's brother Roger is here too. He came over, which makes it equally special for that side of the family. But this is about you, young people, and it's about your future and the economic impact and difference you'll make throughout your lives. So thank you so much. We're delighted to be part of this. We're humbled by the experience and thrilled to see all those bright young minds out there that are going to really bring this whole thing home. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Scott, and thank you, Linda. Your commitment to WSU and to students in the Carson College, they're greatly appreciated. And with this new name, they'll be forever remembered. So we're very grateful. So now I'd like to thank a few people, the faculty and staff in the Carson College who have worked tirelessly to make this wonderful event happen. I'm so proud of you and really appreciative of everything that you've done. So please join me in thanking them.